Welcome back, everyone, to The Coach Approach. It's your coach, Blake of the Black Baker, and today, we're going to be going over Smurf Q. What is it? How does it impact me? How do I even get put in Smurf Q? And my personal thoughts on it, actually. Is it good? Is it bad? Do I want them to revert? Do I want to allow Smurfs to be able to actually queue with the lower elo players, or do I prefer Smurfs to be with Smurfs? Stay tuned, because we're about to hop into it right now. I don't know what that was, but it seemed good at the time when I was doing. Let's get into it. All right, so what is Smurf Q? Smurf Q pretty much is exactly what it sounds like. It's basically where Smurfs get put with Smurfs. That's pretty much the gist. You know, instead of queuing into a game and a Smurf being in your game, Smurfs are then queued with Smurfs. It's kind of like this one game. I forgot what game it was. It's a shooter. I don't want to say it's Call of Duty. I don't really know what game it is. But pretty much what happened is when the game knew that you were cheating, they would put you in this queue with other cheaters. So eventually you're just pretty much playing with other cheaters. You're never queuing with anybody other than cheaters. So even if you turn your cheats off, you're still considered a cheater and you're queued with cheaters. I think that's pretty much what's going on with this Smurf queue here. The game realizes you're a Smurf, you're going to be put that Smurf queue. That's pretty much what it is. Until your MMR goes to a point where it's like, this is probably the right skill level for them, you're going to be always put with Smurfs. Now, with that in mind, I do not think there is a gauge system for Smurfs. And that being said, let me explain what I mean. If there's a diamond Smurf in one game, and then let's say there's a challenger, and then a platinum, maybe even one day a gold was like, hey, I want to make a new account. I want a Smurf too, right? I don't know if there's a gauge for the ranks, right? They can all be put together. Challenger Smurf, Diamond Smurf, Gold Smurf, whatever. They can all be mashed together. And I don't know if I agree with that. At the same time, if you are Smurfing, you're queuing to realistically be put with lower players. So if you're put with other Smurfs, even though if the skill isn't, match made correctly, it's kind of on you, right? You shouldn't really get special treatment for Smurfing. Hey, I'm a Smurf, but I'm not that great of a Smurf. Can you please put me in the right? It doesn't work like that, right? And so I don't know. I don't know if that's more of a punishment or more of a good thing. There are two types of Smurfs, right? There's a Smurfs where it's like, I want to get better. I want to play this new role. I want to play this new champion and just basically get better at it. Right? And then there's the other half where it's like, I want a Smurf to crap on you. And then I guess the other half, well, I mean the 1/3, to basically boost, right? The boosters. I guess I can be on the census if I want to, crap on you, but we got 3. Okay, 3, not 2, 3. Not 2, 3, and I hold up 2. That's 4, first of all, or that's 2. I'm sorry, back to the topic. Okay, so we have 3 types of players. If you're playing to get better, the fact that you're playing against other Smurfs means that you're basically getting better faster because you're playing against people that are already pretty on par with you already, or even better, honestly. So at the end of the day, if that's your main goal, this change really shouldn't make you mad. It really shouldn't affect you. It really shouldn't do anything to you because all you're doing is Smurfing to get better. You're just playing on an account that you don't want to care about, and that's fine. The players that want to beat players just because they want to beat them, they're playing on their main role and their main champion, just climbing and Smurfing for fun. That type of play, I don't agree with, and I'm glad that they are putting Smurfs because I don't want Smurfs to ruin lower elo games. The fact that you're playing on a different role and different champion, even if you are high elo, you're still handicapped because it's not your main, and you have to learn power spikes, you have to learn builds, you have to learn play styles, and in that sense, you kind of are handicapping yourself for you to be beaten. I've beaten multiple Smurfs, I've beaten multiple duo Smurfs, even on my main account. Why? Because they are using stuff they don't normally play. And that's fine. They're just trying to get better at the game. And Riot doesn't really have something in place for that other than their main account. But let me ask you this. The people that are saying, well, I don't think they should Smurf. They should just play on their main. Do you want to learn a new champion on your main playing ranked? I don't care if you're iron, bronze, silver, gold, black. I don't give a damn. You don't want to risk losing games because you want to play something new. And is that a flaw in Riot's system? Maybe they should let you unlock a queue where it's like ranked and people take it seriously, because it damn sure ain't normals, right? Normals is just It's not the same. You can't get that same ranked environment. Even in Flex, you can't get that same ranked environment. Someone who plays 50 games in normals versus someone who plays 50 games in ranked, and they're pretty much playing the same champion, same role, and they're trying to get better, the person in ranked is easily going to outshine the person that's playing the normals. Why? Because normal queue isn't designed to be hardcore. It isn't designed for right now, regardless of what server you're on. Of course, sometimes even when you play ranked, it's a fiesta and people don't care sometimes, but it's still a different environment. And so smurfing to basically learn a new role and learn a new champion in that same environment, I think is okay, because you're not really the same skill level as you usually would be on your main. Now, with that being said, as I said before, the people that are just kind of doing it to breeze through and stomp people and whatever for content, that's gone. So I'm curious on how people making these videos about this OP build that works, and all they're doing is smurfing and making it seem like the build works when they're just smurfing. I wonder how much content they're not going to be able to make because they're just thriving off of smurf content. Or people that's saying easy ways to do blah, blah, blah. Well, how are you going to do that if you can't smurf on people? Because people that you're smurfing with are going to be your level or higher. You know what I mean? So I'm curious on who's going to take that fall when they can't create content. That's going to be very, very interesting. Now, to the third portion of it, the people that are boosting. Now, unless you are challenging, you're probably not going to be able to carry other Smurfs, right? Challengers can stomp other Smurfs, even if they are master Smurfs, whatever. They should be able to handle that, especially on their main, right? So if you're boosting, you're going to be playing your main champion anyway, and you should be able to stomp. Now, players that boost are like Diamond and Master, they might actually have a hard time. So also, wondering, is boosting going to be curbed? Now, I don't agree with boosting. Because, I mean, at the end of the day, you're getting a rank that you don't deserve, and then you're going to not be able to get the rank again, and then when you're playing on your rank, after your boosting's done, you're going to suck, and you're going to melt. I don't really know, so I'm not even going to touch that topic there. But the thing is, boosting, I think, will take a hit too. So these content creators that are just smurfing to get views, and saying these weird-ass builds work, they're getting curbed. The boosters, they're getting curbed. The only one that's not really affected are the ones that are actually realistically smurfing for improvement, which is fine in my opinion. As I said, there's not really something in place for players to really do that, other than making a new account. Normals is not going to cut it, especially when you're a higher elo player. Normals is not even close to fucking good enough to test your skills, which is why players smurf in the first place. If they can smurf in rank, then normals that's nothing, right? So what it is, right? That's the best we can do. Now, how do they even know? How do they know that you'll be actually a smurf? How do they know to put you in smurf queue? What if I get put in smurf queue on accident? So I think they're using the same system that Valorant uses. Don't quote me, I'm not on their team, I don't know. I'm just going off what I've read and what I've seen through them personally. I think they're taking that Valorant system where if you're playing, Valorant's a new shooter game, I don't know if you guys know. Most of you guys probably do know, but the players that don't, it's basically a shooting game, right? It's a tactical shooting game, and obviously it's kind of the same like League. You play your games, you rank up, cool beans. Before rank though, just like in League, you're forced to play some normals, and they use that normals to dictate where you should be on that ladder, and then they put you there. Whether they give you the rank or they allow you to play that type of style and placements, they're putting you in your bracket. When it comes to League of Legends, before this change happened, what essentially happened was, let's just say high silver, low gold, so silver 1, gold 4, is about 1200 MMR. The system in place before, don't quote me, this is basically just me playing accounts and me just noticing it, and obviously the coaching experience that I have. When you have a new account, they don't take into account normals. Actually, I know that for a fact. They didn't take into account normals. And when you got placed at 1200 MMR, which is high silver, low gold. You got placed at the average. Now, I don't know if that changed every season based on what the average was per season, but I do know you got placed at a specific level every single time. So if you're a Smurf, you're placed at that level. If you're not really that great and you're not a Smurf, but you definitely don't deserve to be silver or gold, you're placed at that level. And so sometimes you run into players where it's like, this guy just got into rank. He's new to ranked. He shouldn't be in your game, you're right. So with this new system, instead of saying like, hey, you're level 30, you started ranked, we're starting you at 1200 MMR like everybody else. It's like, okay, you're doing way better than you should be doing. There's no way, and it's easy. I'm 1000% sure Riot has stats to back up a normal player versus a freaking Smurf. So, like, hey, you're doing way better than you should be doing, even if it's by a little bit. You're clearly not that player that that's new. We're gonna put you on this island real quick. No. Just until you kind of even out. We're gonna put you on this island, right? Now, when players that aren't that great, they're like, well, 1200 is the minimum. You're not really meeting that minimum. Let's drop you down a little bit more. And that way you're not placed with those players, but you're more placed in your skill level. And I think that Riot is taking a really hard approach on making this next season competitive, because the competitive scene, not pro, just competitive scene for the game, especially on NA, unfortunately, it's kind of booty. And I know other servers too that I've coached other students. They're like, dude, our ranked is terrible. Like, I'd rather just play in NA. And our server's not that great either. So the fact that other servers are saying that about our server, there's a problem. And so I think with the fact that the system is really going to try to calculate people and put them where they should be, games should feel more even. Now, at the end of the day, is this going to make it so that your games are picture perfect? No, it is a ladder system. There's going to be a top laner better than the other top laner. There's going to be a mid better than the other mid, and so on for all the roles. There is no such thing as an even 50-50 game, okay? How you change that is how good you are. So even with this new system, the rank feels better, you know, it does. But at the end of the day, if you don't know how to influence your games, you're going to lose anyway. So it's not, this new system isn't going to just make you win more games. It's not really designed like that. So, but the games feel more fair. It feels more in your hands now than it's like, I guess we just lose. It's one-sided. You know, it doesn't feel like that so much anymore. And I hope they're still improving on it, because I don't think it's quite there, but it is getting there. And if they could take that into January 8th, the start of the new season, this ranked season is going to be phenomenal. It's going to be so great. It's going to be so great. So, you know, we pretty much discussed the topic of what SmurfQ is. We pretty much discussed the topic of how to get there. It pretty much discussed the topic of how it impacts you, right? You know, in terms of, you know, the Smurfs coming in your games, new players coming in your games. You shouldn't really see any new players or Smurfs unless you're actually around that skill level, quote unquote. I don't know how it's diagnosed. I don't know what, but if you're around that, you'll be put with it, obviously. If not, you'll be put with the normals. Final kind of topic here, I guess, would just be my thoughts. My personal thoughts, I think it's good. You know, I think it's very good, because, as I said, if you're trying to improve, it's way better to just kind of improve with other Smurfs. Like, I'm not Smurfing to beat people. I'm Smurfing to improve. So regardless of who you put me with, I'm learning. You know, if that's the census that these people are Smurfing with, that is fine. That matchmaking for the Smurfs just really shouldn't matter. Now, if that's not your main goal, then clearly you're gonna have problems with it. So the players are like, SmurfQ sucks. This thing is so, Well, I mean, those are the players that used it maliciously, you know, so to speak. And this also curbs the players that say, well, there's a Smurf in my game, that's why I lost. Well, there's this in my game, that's why I lost. A lot of players, especially through my coaching career, whether it be through coaching players or just kind of helping players get better in general, it's kind of the same thing sometimes. That guy's Smurfing. That guy clearly was better than that guy. The bright side is, if there is a Smurf and he's dueling with somebody, he is still going to be in that Smurf queue. I think it is very, very rare for you to get placed with a Smurf. I've noticed that whenever I'm on these accounts, they're all Smurfs unless someone's dueling. If I notice someone's like level 140 something, it's like, you're not a Smurf, clearly. Everybody else level 30, you're dueling, right? And so even if you're dueling, you are going to be in Smurf queue. And so I don't really know if I agree or disagree. As I said, for boosters, it's going to be harder for them to boost because you're playing with players that are damn near your skill level or higher. But at the end of the day, what if you want to play with your friend? You know, I want to play with my friend, and so I have to Smurf. Is it okay for me to play with other low elo players, or should that friend just sacrifice it and you're playing with other Smurfs now? Like, how do you guys feel about that? I don't know how I feel about that. As I said, I don't think they have a system to gauge. If they did, I don't think it would be so much of a problem for Smurfs to duel with just regular players. Because of the simple fact that if they had that skill gauge, no matter what, you still technically be with that skill bracket of the Smurfs. But I think we're just all in a mixing pot right now. And so I really don't know. Maybe they do have a system in place and I just don't know it. Maybe I don't know it because there's so many Smurfs now. Like, I don't really know. Queue times are definitely higher. I definitely noticed queue times. So there is a Smurf queue for sure. But I don't really know how they do that. As I said before, I mean, I've just kind of seen Smurfs doing with regular people, and that's that. they don't do well because they're playing with a whole bunch of players higher than their elo anyway. So that, I think, is kind of unfortunate that the players that are playing with their friends have to kind of have their friend be put in that mixing pot. But I guess at the end of the day, it wouldn't be fair that, oh, I'm playing with my friend even though he's like challenger. No, we're just playing together. It's fine. No, I'm just having fun. It's not. I don't think it's fair for 5 other players to kind of have a ruined experience because you want to play with your friend. So like I said, at the end of the day, I don't really know about that one. That one's a hot topic. I don't know. What do you guys think? As I said before, would you guys rather people that play with their friends that are smurfing still kind of have that MMR normalized, or do you think that even if you're playing with your friend, you're in Smurf queue? I don't want you in my game. What do you guys think about that one? But yeah, that being said, I do think it's very cool. I do think that's a really good implementation. I don't really know why it took so long to do it. I never personally had a game ruined because of a Smurf. If I've seen a Smurf in my game, whether on my main account or not, I usually add him, be like, hey, you're good. What happened? How'd you beat me? Right? It's just a faster way to get better. And so, I don't know. I think League players sometimes just have a problem asking for help, especially when it's someone that beat them. But that's just the easiest way to get better. If someone clearly is better than you, ask them why. You can easily get better just by asking someone how they beat you. Easily. And as I said, I don't really know why that's such a problem for players. That's why I said I've never really had a Smurf ruin my game, because I never really felt like that. The odds of me getting a Smurf is pretty slim, right? You're not getting a Smurf every game. It's probably like every 10 to 20 games. And then you're like, oh crap, there's a Smurf. But that one Smurf isn't keeping you where you are. Just like that one random AFK isn't keeping you where you are. You know what I mean? So I never really had my experience ruined. But like I said, at the end of the day, I like the change. If you're smurfing to be kind of mean, if you're smurfing to just kind of boost, you're smurfing just to stomp, it's good for you. If you're smurfing to learn, it's still good for you. So it's not a bad thing. I think that's pretty much it on the topic. I don't really have much else to say on it. I agree with it. I hope it keeps working out, and I hope it is more refined. If you guys do want to try to be in Smurf queue, as I said, I mean, just kind of make another account, and there you go. Make your performance really good when you play normals, and that's that. I don't really know how it's going to work for botted leveled accounts. I don't really know if that person is going to be playing 1 or 2 games, and the system's like, you're a Smurf, and then you're popped in there, because obviously botted accounts don't have the skills. They're just kind of there, you know what I mean? They're not really playing the game. So I don't really know how that one is gonna be fixed. But there's a very small percentage of players that actually buy accounts anyway, and I'm pretty sure it'd be easy for Riot to be like, this is a botted account anyway. I mean, you know. That being said, be sure that you guys take on this discount of 25% off of everything on my site, CoachBlaker.com. The code is holidays. That was a terrible segue, I know. I'm sorry, I was just caught up in the moment. CoachBlaker.com, code is holidays, 25% discount off. If you guys want a chance for a free coaching and for free VODs, make sure you join my Discord below. That is the best way to try to get those free things. As I said, the discount code is going away on January 2nd, so make sure you guys are prepared for that new ranked upcoming season, and take advantage of these discounts before they're gone. Without further ado, though, oh, one more thing. I haven't been making guide videos because I don't want... Did I say this already? I don't think I did. I haven't been making guide videos because I don't want to be making a video and then Riot change something, and I'm like, oh, I have to delete the video, or oh, this video doesn't help you at all because I changed it. So I'm kind of just waiting for they're like, all right, it's set in stone. We're not changing too much about this, and it's good to go. Then I'm gonna start making more things to help you guys get better and stuff like that. I just don't want to be kind of caught with my foot in my mouth. You know what I mean? So that's the last thing I'm gonna say. Without further ado, thank you guys for watching. I do appreciate it. I hope I gave a pretty solid input. I'm curious about what your input is. You know, like I said, do you guys like Smurf Q? Do you guys think it's a good idea? Do you guys think that if you're playing with your friends, maybe that's not a good idea? Like, how do you guys feel about it? Thank you for watching. Till next time, you know what I always say. Thank you for approaching this like a coach.